Gateway Gamers podcast. All right, welcome to Gateway Gamers podcast. I am your co-host RP, as always, and we are back in the studio recording in person. And to help me do so is the host of the show, Brian Marvel.
Are you okay? This is unprecedented. I've never seen RP this fired up to record, or like he just jumped in. He knows the intro is the hardest part for me. So
I'm just trying to help. Trying to be a good friend.
Yes, we are the Gateway Gamers. I'm thrown off because I messed my
so
rhythm
we
up.
are the Gateway Gamers. We cover games.
Where I introduce you to games,
and I introduce you to podcasts.
Oh my God.
How are you, sir?
I'm flabbergasted. I've never been.
You know why?
It's so off guard.
We are off guard because you're drinking a pumpkin spice cold brew.
I am.
I've never seen you drink let alone anything other than an iced coffee, but I've never seen you drink Starbucks or a cold brew.
I am a basic bee when it comes to the fall. I love fall stuff. I was at Target. They had a Starbucks. I saw pumpkin.
You were feeling cutesy, feeling
very
cutesy.
I was
very
feeling demure.
Yeah.
Stop.
We're on brand.
And
Follow us on TikTok.
We're aging this episode. This 1 month. We're in our brat fall.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. As of this recording, we got some awesome news for us.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome news.
Go. What is it? What's the awesome news?
The awesome news is that previously recorded, it's ending the nearing the end of the X-Men half a year extravaganza.
X-Men summer.
If you've listened to that, thank you. Brian did a wonderful job of being a special guest clowning on us on our own podcast.
So this is revenge. Okay.
Yeah, no. He did an amazing job. One of our fans reached out and was like, a random follower was just like, hey, they did a great job. You should have Preston on more. And I completely agree. Preston should be on this show more.
I do love Preston, and he will be tapped to be in an episode for sure.
Yeah, whenever we cover... what's the Lorcana? Whenever we cover Lorcana again, we should have him back.
For sure.
We owe
him a day.
We have a match. We need to have a match with him. It needs to happen.
It's been literally a year. We did Lorcana a year ago. It's been a year.
Has it?
Yes.
We were talking about this the other night. I could care less about that game now, and I spent a good amount of money on that game.
We got our money's worth. But so the big real news, besides your podcast doing great this summer, great job with the Fox movies, and kind of what's the end movie for your run?
So will be you and Shane, New Mutants.
Oh, New Mutants! I'm excited for that one.
But the Logan episode was so good that I'm like, as a thank you to anybody who listened, kind of considering just hanging on to that as the last one.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's kind of the month of Deadpool messed up our timeline, where it just was like shuffling things around. So, and we did Deadpool and Wolverine already, so it's like, it's still up in the air on what will end it. But yeah, how are you, man? What's going on with you? What's our big news that we have to share?
So we got invited back to PAX Unplugged this year in Philly, the week of, I think, the first weekend of December.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. We got invited back as media to cover the event itself. If you kind of listened to our episode last year, we were definitely, or at least I was probably more overwhelmed about everything. It was my first.
I have a few regrets.
Yeah, it was my first real convention. It was my first time kind of representing us, and I feel like I did do a great job. But yeah, this year I'm ready. I'm having my wife make us business cards to hand out. I'm actually going to interact and socialize with hopefully listeners as well as...
I'll happily do that too.
Yeah.
You know me. I'll talk. I can talk.
Yeah, but so I'm excited for that. That was kind of big
maybe our trick is we should go to Iron Hill after or before.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe we should go to Iron Hill.
I need to get a few drinks.
Just get a drink in, get those lips being loquacious beforehand. But
yeah, I think that last year I was definitely how my anxiety works is like I need to like know what's going on sometimes before I get into something. So now that I've been there and I kind of like have the lay of the land and where things work, I'm ready this time around to go in and actually spend the day because we just kind of ran in, looked for that beer, wasn't there, got bummed out and ran out.
The beer not being a thing was probably the funniest thing that happened. But no, we went in, we got our game, we perused around. You were like, I'm ready to go, and I say, no, we're doing at least a lap. I'm like, we took the train in, like we made a effort to come down here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do something.
Yeah, let my anxiety
we did a lap,
get the better of me there.
There's a lot of friendly people there,
Mm-hmm.
people who just want to spread the news, and we have a nice platform for that. We should invest in a mic. Just carry around a little mic and say, "Hey, you want to be?" And that could literally be the episode.
There we go. Maybe
when we're on YouTube by that point.
Nope, never.
Nah, never.
But that was our big news.
Anyway, yeah, it's exciting. It's nice to be invited back to places. Normally, I don't get invited back to anywhere, but
yeah, I was surprised.
We got invited to the previously recorded. Got invited to the Flash, and then they're like, "Nah, never again."
Yeah, I'm surprised they invited us back. If they actually listened to the episode, they were like,
we had fun. We had fun. I literally just threw out my booklet the other day.
Oh, I kept it. I'm gonna frame it.
Are you? You didn't ask for my signature.
I'm planning on it. Making little.
Anyway,
anyway, for when I die, he could put it in my casket.
jokes. Yeah, that in one hand and a handful of dice in the other. Jokes aside, very excited to be invited back. Very much looking forward to it. It was a fun opportunity for us to get out and socialize a bit and spread the brand, and then use my face as a meme everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I took a stupid picture of pointing and smiling.
No, you
and
don't take pictures. You let me take all the pictures.
No, I'm going to take all the pictures of you
picture.
this time, and therefore you can be used as a meme.
Please.
A pointing meme. But anyway, it's very exciting. But we are a podcast that covers games. Today, I have a special game prepared. It's a secret. We're going back to the drawing board. Brian has no idea what's in store. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, do you
roles
actually
reverse.
have
No, I am just hosting today. But, yeah, I guess unless I'm jumping ahead in anything.
I'm
drum
ready.
roll, please. Summoner's Wars.
Summoner Wars.
Summoner Wars.
Just from the cover, what do you kind of...
From the cover, love the theme.
Okay.
Feel like I'm going to hate this game.
Okay. What do you think of the art?
I think the art's amazing.
I love this art.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
This is easily one of my top art
its
styles.
Presence is amazing, but to me, off the cuff, it has a lot more than what I'm looking for.
You know, that's just a cover.
You don't
even know what kind of game this is.
You can just tell, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of moving parts and cards and little chits, and there's probably going to be gems involved. And how accurate am I?
No chits.
Is there gems?
Or there is chits. There's no gems.
I was sold on the gems. Okay.
Okay. There's no gems.
All right. Do you want me to give you a little back of the box?
Where are we today? What is happening?
Join the never-ending war for Etheria. Summoner's Wars is the exciting card game of fantasy battlefield combat that puts you in the role of a powerful summoner. Display your tactical prowess by summoning units to your gates, outmaneuvering your opponent, and cutting down the enemy summoner. Countless unit types, a wide variety of spells and abilities, and the option to build your own deck all make for a game sure to entertain play after play. A battle in a box.
All right, so now looking at the back of the box, what are you thinking?
My opinion has not changed.
Okay.
This looks like a war game.
So this is essentially a miniatures battle game. Head to head, you have a summoner, I have a summoner, summon out monsters.
What I got from
We attack each other. So when this is the second edition. The first edition came out like 2008. When I was kind of new to gaming, was looking into gaming, the first edition was a game that jumped out at me. I was like, wow, like that's really cool theme. I like the idea because miniature games are expensive. Like they just are.
Do you like miniature games?
I do. So I love HeroClix. I think HeroClix is my favorite game of all time. You know, Unmatched is technically a miniatures game.
Yes, which I didn't like at first.
Yes. And then recently, HeroScape has returned.
Well, yeah, you've been playing that.
And I love that game, but the price point on a master set of HeroScape because of miniatures would make you fall out of that chair if I told you. So we're going to skip that till we cover that episode. So when this kind of came out, this was a miniature game that was more accessible and more price point friendly, because instead of having miniatures, it's just cards you kind of move on the board.
Okay.
Second edition came out, I want to say like 2018, around that point. And it's been on my radar forever. I just haven't bit the bullet till recently.
Did you purchase this, or is this a gift?
So I bought the 2-player like starter kit they kind of came out with, as well as some of the expansion characters. And then Plaid Hat Games was nice enough to send us the master set along with some of the expansion characters, more expansion characters. Because at this point, there's 22 like enemy factions. In this box, there's 6. In the 2-player starter set, there's 2. And then at this point, there's like 18 expansion just factions you could buy.
I'm not even going to lie. My eyes are glazing over here.
Yep. So
I don't want to be a simple-minded IP goon.
There's no IP.
My eyes are glazing over here, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I usually IP, if this was Thanos versus the Avengers,
we'll pretend.
I might have been a little bit more interested, but my eyes are glazing over a bit. Let's see.
Fine. We got this. You got this.
Bring it to the table.
There's sand elves. That could be like Dune.
Sand elves? There's only one Dune.
There's Savannah elves, vanguards, which are kind of like mystical people, like your Doctor Strange you love so much. There's polar dwarves, like Elsa. So there's your Disney IP.
Oh, Elsa.
But I am super excited to play this game. I played it a bunch of times. I played the different factions a bunch of times. I have the app on my phone, completely unlocked with every character, so I don't even need to buy anymore.
Very cool.
But in the world of Summoner Wars, or like in the world of gaming for Summoner Wars, this is easily a top 10 game for a lot of people.
And is it for you?
I'm going to save that.
Okay.
Because I have some feelings about this game. Mr. Hat, as you call him, Tom Vassell. This is like one of his top 10 games of all time.
Okay.
I've seen other YouTubers. This is always on the list. This edition and the second edition,
the
first edition.
If Tom Vassell of Dice Tower likes this game, loves this game, I'll give it a try.
He also loves Unmatched.
Okay.
He also loves Marvel United, which is a miniatures game. So there you go.
Okay.
A lot of miniature games that I like
when I think of
are expensive.
So when I think of miniatures, growing up, my neighbor's dad, he's still my neighbor, had a whole like
Warhammer.
styrofoam. Styrofoam Civil War miniatures where you would move and plant and it was cool because he would take the time and paint them. Very cool, and I loved how into it he was. But god damn, did that look so boring. But and that's when you say miniatures, that's what I think. I don't think of Marvel United or I think of that.
So those type of miniature games like Warhammer, they have a Marvel one where your movement is determined by like a ruler, and you play on like a giant tabletop map, are very cool, but the price point and the intricacies of them
and you could
turn me off.
Probably get something a little bit maybe dumbed down or simpler or cooler for less.
I don't think cooler, because the miniatures are amazing.
Marvel United wouldn't be cooler?
Marvel United's great. It's a board game. Like these miniature games, like when they're on a map and they have a Star Wars one, they have Marvel, they have like really cool, but they're expensive. You got to put them together. You got to paint them. There's just a lot involved.
Okay.
So this option of having a card game, quote, miniature game is really a neat idea.
Okay.
Are you ready to give it a chance?
All right, let's go play.
Let's go play.
We're back.
All right, and we're back. How are you, everybody?
Everybody's good.
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So give me your first impression of this game. We played one game.
We did.
We played the basic 2 characters of the 2-player basic box. We didn't get into the woods of the 6 characters in the main box. So this is kind of your first impression of the game.
Yeah, for sure. The components are great. The cards are great. The art's nice. You have them in nice sleeves. It's a nice, rainy, cloudy Saturday afternoon. The perfect time to take a freaking snooze.
Why? I could tell from initially you
Yep.
just couldn't care less.
I didn't. This took an hour to play.
It did not. That wasn't an hour.
Sir, it's close to an hour. This was very cookie cutter gateway gamer for sure. Absolutely. But there's more exciting things out there, and I'm used to playing better games with you. And for what it is, it's great. Components are great. Be honest with you, there was nothing special about this game. Nothing that oozed theme. There was nothing about this theme of mystical warriors that oozed the theme, excited me. There was.
I think this game oozes theme.
This might be the first time This might be the first time we hard disagree on something.
Keep going.
It's fine.
Okay, so. I am extremely bummed out that you did not enjoy this game, but I'm also hopeful because you had the same reaction to Unmatched. When we played the Jurassic Park one years ago, and then we have since come back with Unmatched. Actually, you played Unmatched twice, and we're very ho-hum on it.
Yeah.
And then the Marvel set came out, and we have re-tackled it, and you have turned around completely on that game. I think you just weren't in the mood for this game, and I'm hoping we could play this game again because I really enjoyed this game. I think everything that you kind of said is right, that it's very simple. I don't agree on the theme. The theme of the characters is there. If you kind of gave it a chance, I think we're going to come back to this game in a future time.
I gave it a chance.
I think you're going to turn around on this game.
I gave it an hour's chance.
I think you're going to come around on this game.
It's not that there's anything boring about it. It just didn't work for me. Like, the art was cool, but it's just like, okay, these are just ghouls.
Yeah, well, ghouls.
Like,
there's no ghouls in this game. We didn't play
I don't know.
ghouls.
There's like these you know what I mean? There's like these things.
Ghouls. Little green ghouls, dude. We didn't even play with ghouls. There is a ghoul tech.
Little green ghouls. There was not. It's just playing these cards, and they all were kind of the same, with a little bit of you get to attack. You get to attack from 3 spaces away. You get to okay. And then Bryan magically had these cards that each time you attack me, you get one. You get one too.
So you lost. And
I didn't care enough to like challenge it, but I was just like, okay, I trust you because the way we play these games is no matter how it goes, you're always telling it correctly.
I'm holding your hand. Yeah, I'm kind of guiding you. For
the most part,
as it goes. Yeah.
If I'm not interested, yes. And this is one of those things that we just don't see eye to eye on.
I think you're going to come around this game. I
don't.
I think this is the Unmatched effect all over again, where you kind of
even if you threw
weren't
a Marvel
into it when we played.
No. Even if you put
this
a Marvel,
was Thanos.
No, even if you put a Marvel
No
IP
way.
on this, I would not
You're
care.
out of your mind. If this was Thanos summoning out Chitauri and the Black Order,
But also, that's also kind of to the game. You could put anything on it. It could be poop emojis, and it would be fine. Like, you know what I mean? It's
you could.
It could be me on those cards. It could be me, you, Shane, and Bob, the previously recorded network, on these cards. It would not change the dynamic of the game.
You're out of your mind.
I am not. Okay. This is the most sane logic thinking I've ever had in my entire life.
All right, so you're not into it, and that is absolutely fine.
Yes, but I can still value the game for what it is.
I love this game. I think this could creep up.
You love this game.
I do.
It would be in your. If you love it, it would be in a top 10.
I could see this being in my top 10.
What?
Because of what it is. This is a gateway game at its core that also ramps up and is challenging.
When? Tell me when.
With other
When
characters.
does it ramp up?
So
when is it challenging?
We played the basic set. There's other characters that do more and cooler things. This is a good game that you just didn't like, and that's fine.
I feel like I'm hanging out with a Snyder fan.
You're out of your mind.
Oh my God! No. The real challenge is when you watch the 4-hour Snyder cut. That's the real picture perfect game.
This is gonna be the most common episode because you're gonna have people attacking you.
I welcome it. Tell me I'm wrong. Bring it.
All right, so let's go through the gameplay.
And I almost beat you. It's not even like it was like a blowout.
You were not beating me.
I was close.
You're out of your mind.
Your guy. You had one card left in your deck. You had one card left in your deck,
beating me.
and I challenged, and your person had 9 health, and they had how many?
4.
Okay.
Your Ragnak had like
So you're
13 health, and I was
because
annihilating
I just
them.
went after you because I said end this game.
All right. Anyway, let's go through the gameplay. So the gameplay is that you are summoners. Each of us had a summoner. You had the Tundra Orcs.
Turds, yes.
The Turd Orcs. I had the...
No, the theming of the cards is very cool. The art's great. Even the stylistic approach, very cool.
Okay.
I'm not going to poo-poo that.
Yeah.
I'm going to poo-poo the mechanics.
The game itself.
It's just boring.
And that's
like,
fine.
I am not a gateway gamer anymore. As you can tell, I've taken on a bigger approach. I did the intro. I am the man. No, I'm just kidding. I know what I like.
Okay.
And this isn't what I like.
And that's fair. I'm a little bummed, and I'm hopeful that I could turn around this game.
Oh,
and if not, it is what it is. I'll take the L.
Go take that shovel and dig, because that's where that hope went. It's dead.
So you play as main summoners. So you were the Tundra Orcs, so which are these icy orc characters. I was the Phoenix Elves, which were fire. So it's very opposite. Ice and fire was the theme of the box. And the goal of the game is to kill your other summoner. Everything else in between is just in the way. Your summoners are your main characters that you kind of play as. So they are the strongest characters. They are the characters with the most health. Setup is you draw 5 cards, and then you kind of play. The thing that I like about this game is the board has a rundown of each phase.
The setup was good. The board was very nice.
The board was very user-friendly.
I enjoyed the board, actually having the board for these type of card games. Normally, you just throw them on the table. Having a tracker, having the chits, everything. The dice were nice.
The 5 phases, though, were like on the board.
Yes.
You didn't have to ask me once what you were doing. So there's 6 different phases in your turn. And as I said, the thing that I love is on the board at the bottom, it goes through the 6 phases. And it literally says,
make sure you don't go out of phase.
Because I'll call you out.
Because Brian will call you out. And when you're struggling to get through this game and you just think, maybe he'll make it easier.
No.
Nope.
You got to play by the rules.
You got to play by
You're
the rules.
not playing by the rules. You're not doing a fair review.
Them the rules.
So at the bottom of it has the 6 phases written out. It tells you how many characters you can move. It tells you how many characters you can play with. And I love that. I didn't really look at the rulebook once kind of playing this because I played this before. But even the first time I played this, it's pretty simple what you're supposed to be doing. So the first thing you could do is you can summon units. So on your on the board on your turn, you have a gate, which is what you summon monsters out of. You have your champion unit, and then you have 2 common units to start. So on your turn, you can summon units. Each card in your hand has an amount that you can summon, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or higher. That's how much you could pay to summon these units, and they come out of these gates that you put on the board. Phase 2 is move. You can move 3 of your characters 2 spaces. It doesn't matter who they are. They move that many spaces unless they have a special power in a card. Phase 3 is build. You can build these gates on your board all the way in the back row of the board or next to your summoner unit. And then the next phase is attack. Attacking is you can attack with 3 different cards. And how they attack is it's either ranged or melee. And then that's signified by melee characters have a sword. Ranged characters have bow and arrow. Simple.
Very simple.
And then there's a number, so it'll be like 3 sword. That's how many dice you're rolling. So you're rolling 3 dice for each sword that you roll, how much damage you're doing. Next phase, and then bow and arrow.
Unless it's a range attack.
Yeah, and then bow and arrow is you can only attack units that are like 1 away from you. You roll the dice, how many bow and arrows you roll, how much damage you're doing. And then it's the magic phase, which is discarding cards from your hand to gain magic, which help you summon cards. And then finally, you draw back up to 5 cards at the end of your turn. It's that simple. The gameplay itself is that simple. The thing that makes the game, dare I say, thematic, as you don't, is each unit is asymmetrical, wildly different. So your characters were very, like, magic heavy, kind of, which I don't understand.
No,
I will not lie.
They were more.
Your unit sucked.
Yeah. what I got from them was they were more barbarian because everything was about attacking.
Yeah.
Everything was attack related, not magic. Like your nonsense were like, oh, you hit me, you get
-1. I was doing
which
cheaty.
was nonsense.
I was doing cheaty stuff.
To me, that's magic. Mine was barbarian, attack heavy. You have to be. There was one card I had that was like you could be within 4 spaces, like so on and so forth. And so that I was fine with because they also thematically, in terms of how the cards looked, they looked like barbarians. Like people that, you think of the Vikings, that's how they looked. Where, I'll be honest, I wasn't really looking at your cards because I was just focusing on the text on mine and kind of planning out where to go. So for you to say that they're magic, I'm gonna call bull.
Hold on, give me. Yeah. By magic, I meant, and it was almost to your detriment. There on the dice, there's a sword, a bow and arrow, and then like a lightning bolt symbol. A lot of your characters utilize the lightning bolt symbol
in weird ways,
in bad ways.
Yes.
So you had a unit that cost.
But this is a great game.
It is. You had a unit that cost 5, which is cheap. It had a high health point and rolled 8 dice. But only hit with the lightning bolts, which aren't as prevalent.
Yeah, because I rolled 8 dice.
You were so pumped.
And I had 8 swords, and then we looked at the card, and it's like, or I had 7 swords, and then 1 dice had the lightning bolt, and we're like, well, you hit me
said
for 1.
You went, boom, he's dead, and I went, well, actually, and then read your card.
Playing it the right game as the game miser should.
Yeah,
but
and then you had another character that like.
No, this game just oozes excitement. Yeah.
Only hit as long as you also rolled a lightning bolt. So your deck was weird. I don't understand like the theme of yours. It was kind of, I'll say, kind of like I almost said.
Oh, yo, we don't curse.
Kind of crappy. Like it really was.
Brian, cut that.
No, leave it. Oh. As I was playing, like watching you play, I'm like, I don't understand like what these characters are. Like you said, they were very attack heavy where your one character would like hit a character and then you roll to die. If you got lightning, they can move and attack, which was cool. And they rolled a lot of dice. I'll say that. Your characters rolled a high amount of dice, but it was very detrimental of the lightning.
They were helpful because that kept me engaged, rolling dice and moving. Like I understand the point of the game. I'm like I'm not, and I don't need a Thanos thrown onto this to make me interested. For like people who are listening are probably like, oh, RP's stupid. He only cares about this and that. No, it's just like truly I'll save it for the ending on how we grade games. But like, and to Top Hat, whatever company this is. Mr. Plister Hat, like whatever. Thank you for sending this game, and there's a sect of people like Brian who love games like this. For me, it just didn't work. The actual gameplay itself.
Yeah, just
have a cup of tea and read a book. Like you will be more engaged.
All right, so your character stunk.
I don't even think it's even if I had cooler characters.
No, but I'm saying, and then I played as the Phoenix Elves, and they weren't like attack heavy, so I didn't have high attack rolls, but I had a lot of like movement, so my characters could move easily. When I summoned, they could summon like next to each other instead of through the gate, which was kind of cheaty, but that was the way.
You were just doing whatever you wanted.
And then my one character, if they got hit, they only took 1 damage, and then my one character exploded and would just ping you for 1. They did a lot of really cool things.
And also, listeners, he could just be making all this up because I wasn't. Yeah, I was not paying attention.
Play by the rules. What are the rules?
What?
A lot of Sunny in Philadelphia references.
Green ghouls.
So that's the
egg.
The basic of the game is this 6 phases, and as I said, the bread and butter of this game is the different characters. We played with the 2 characters. That was it. As I said, I think altogether there's 22 different characters. I am not going over the characters.
In this box?
Altogether. In this box, I think I have...
There's like 8 on
I think I have 13 at this point. Different character units in this game. I will say they all do wildly different things. There's no units... They all do the same thing of attacking and whatnot, but they do wildly different thematic things. There's a lightning goblin orc that chain characters together, where if you're chained, anyone next to them gets hit for 1, and then they can move through the chain.
Okay.
Like, they do different things. There are different factions. I think I'll cover them maybe without you, or on Instagram. I think I might cover each unit individually because it'd be too much for us to kind of cover.
Yeah, you might not want to hear my review on
Yes.
that. However, am I glad we played this? Sure. Do I ever want to see this on the table again? No.
All right, so let's go through our kind of way that we review in these types of games, and it'll kind of also create discussion of maybe we could figure out what hit, what didn't. So, theme.
Okay.
You feel like there's not a lot of theme?
The theme is in the cards.
Okay.
And I wasn't engaged in the cards.
Okay.
You were, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's the I think that's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
It's like, and again, there's a bunch of different factions to play at.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the theme is basically one guy, two factions attacking each other.
yeah, it's one. You were the fire people, I was the ice people, and you're attacking, and it's
yeah. But you felt like your guys were barbarians, and my guys were fiery, annoying pink
Yeah, but
people. So
I enjoy the barbarians.
Yeah.
Theme is good. Theme. When you pulled out this box, that's what I expected. The theme fit 100%.
All right.
As advertised.
Aesthetics of the game, how it looks on the table. This is the one thing where I'm just kind of like, it's not exciting on the table.
There's nothing but the board and
it's
the cards.
Yeah, the art is great, as we talked about. I think the
art's awesome,
phenomenal. But like as a whole,
and I will say it's very rare that we get a game where the art is not good. If it's not picture stills, it's very rare because these people are so talented that even if they make something quote unquote bad, to you and I, it's still impressive.
For us, this is very cartoony. There are people that don't like this art.
Yeah, I can get
There are people that I think the first edition, like the art was like a little darker, a little more realistic. When they came out with this edition, that's very cartoony. Like these are
I like it.
Very cartoony, very bright characters. I gravitate more to this.
Yes.
There are people that hate this. Like hate this art.
That's a shame.
They'll be like, I hate this art, I'm not getting this edition. Which is crazy. But art is subjective. Sure. I like this cartoony art. People hate it. And that's fine. But as a whole, I think on the table, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's just cards on a very boring...
If you walk by it, it wouldn't be, what are you playing?
This isn't one where you're like, what is that? Because it's even the map itself is just
it's like covered up most of the
brown.
time anyway,
like it's kind of boring. Replay value. You never want to see this game again.
No, but I can understand it's through the roof.
Yeah, it's through the roof because of all the factions. Even without the factions, if it's just a 1 and 2, it's still it's. So we've only played the 2-player basic edition. In the main box, there's 6 different factions that has infinite combinations just in that one. And then, as I said, there's 22, and they're planning more coming out. So replay value is high if you care to get all the factions, if not, even just the basic boxes. How the game plays, this is a gateway game. Like we kind of explained it very easily, the phases. The cards themselves are a bit nuanced of what they do, and it might take like 1 or 2 readings. But other than that, this is a very easy game to kind of play as a whole. And then tactics and like strategy and luck. This is
50-50.
Yeah, I think there's a good mix. The one thing I will say that I really liked was every time you rolled the dice to attack, you were hitting.
Yeah.
That I liked that. That was the one thing where I was like, oh, thank God. Because there's some games sometimes where you roll dice and you just completely whiff, and you're just like, well, what was the point? This one, every time you rolled, you were hitting for at least 1, which was good. So I kind of like that. So the luck's high because it's dice, but it's also, you're pretty much hitting every time.
Yes, agreed.
And that's kind of it. So, as I kind of said, I enjoy this game a lot for what it is. I like these miniatures, tactical type games.
It gets the Gateway Gamer stamp of approval. It does. I didn't love it, but for what it is, what the show is, what we do, there's nothing about this game that's bad. It just didn't scratch the edge for me.
Just didn't hit.
And it's not the type of game I prefer to play. Yes, a lot of them are IP heavy, but I still like fantasy things.
Yeah, you've played other non-IP games that for some reason
this just
called you. This wasn't one of yours.
If you like what you're hearing on here, remember to rate, like, and subscribe. Check out our Redbubble and TeePublic store and the Instagram. especially the Instagram. You're gonna miss so much stuff if you're not following us there. Like so much stuff. We do giveaways, we do shout outs, we do life updates, we do everything on the gateway, and memes and reels. And
Instagram is our bread and butter for sure. But we're on Threads
we're on
and all
Threads,
that. Like they're there.
Twitter,
but
the Twitter isn't get
huge,
used. The Facebook. Check us all out. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much for joining me for gaming. And
Thank you, RP.
We'll see you on the next episode.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Horse race, as I promised my parents I would talk about. They discovered this game with their friends, and they had such a good time that they brought it to us. And when we played, we used their money. It's not even like we use our own money, so maybe some of the thrill is there. But if you're looking for a great family fun, easy game, go check it out. It's like a board with a couple pegs, and it's 1 through 12, and you roll dice, and you're betting like nickels, dimes, quarters, and my parents loved it. And my dad was the banker. Shout out to my parents who love to support the show and talk about the show. Shout out to them. I promised you I would talk about it, and here it is. And that is also getting our Gateway Gamers stamp of approval and Family Game stamp of approval. And it's a great
J-Corp.
J-Corp. And it's
horse racing.
And it's also a great conversational game. So you can play it, still have conversation. They were getting so mad at me because I was so focused on the Phillies game that I was not paying attention to the game. But yeah. So I covered that.
There you go. That. Huge shout out.
Huge shout out to the fam.